Hi, my name's Brooke Haggerty, and I am the Food Chick. On today's episode, For the Love of, we'll be looking at breakfast. So today is For the Love of Breakfast. Hi, my name is Brooke Haggerty, and I am the Food Chick. Breakfast is one of the most important meals of the day. Actually, it's the most important meal of the day. And quite often people do not take the time to make sure that they have breakfast. Well, I'm here to show you that you can make your breakfast in one day and have it to eat for the next 3 or 4 days. So we're going to start today. We're going to do prosciutto frittatas. We're going to do the mini style in little disposable pans, or if you have mini pans cupcake pans at home, or full-size cupcake pans at home, depending on your hunger factor. So we're going to have we'll have the mini prosciutto frittatas, and we're also going to do a little breakfast that's a little different for most people, but it's something that is highly recommended by my trainer, which is we want to start high carb, high protein in the mornings. So we're going to be having sweet potatoes, kale, and fried eggs with bacon for breakfast in the morning. So I'm going to show you a real quick, easy way to make that ready for yourself. And we're going to have a great time today. So let's go ahead and get started with our frittatas. I've got some local eggs here. It's very easy to find local eggs. If you can do it, I highly recommend it. The difference in getting eggs that have been hatched within 24 hours is unbelievable. So these are from a local farm right down the street. These were just delivered to me yesterday morning. They were hatched yesterday morning. I'm going to do 6 eggs here. Actually, I think I'm going to do 9 eggs here. I want something nice and richer. If we have a little extra, then that's okay. So I've got 9, again, fresh local eggs. We're going to season them up a little bit. Very simple seasoning here because the prosciutto, which we have here, I had it thin sliced from my local deli. It's almost shaved. So it's going to be really, really nice and light in there. This has a lot of flavor in it with the Italian curing, and it also has has a nice salty texture to it. So we're not going to need to add any extra salt to this. But what I do have is I have my favorite lemon pepper. So lemon pepper is going to go into here. And then one of my new favorites is a garden herb seasoning. So garden herb seasoning there. And then at the very end, we're going to hit this with a little bit of fresh basil as it comes out of the oven. So let's go ahead and we're going to get these eggs whipped up a little here with my very handy dandy immersion blender. So they'll get nice and light and tight. There we go. Add some heavy cream. Again, this is local cream that I'm using. Heavy cream, very, very nice. Quite delicious. So while those are all seasoned up, now, what's a frittata without cheese? Well, it's not a frittata in my book, I can tell you that, because I love cheese. So I've got some fresh Parmesan cheese here. I highly suggest, this is something else that you want to spend a little extra money on. You want to buy a nice big block of hard Parmesan cheese. It's definitely worth the extra, the couple extra dollars that you're going to spend. You can keep this wrapped up tight in saran wrap in your refrigerator, and then take it out as you need it and slice it and cut it into a chunk, and then use your handy dandy grater right here. I'm going to use a larger grate today because with the prosciutto, this cheese will hold up to that very well. And again, the fresh Parmesan cheese also has a nice nutty texture to it. So the nice nutty texture combined with the salt from the prosciutto is going to be nice and delicious for everyone. So we'll get our cheese in there. And then again, we're going to blend again so that cheese is also going to break down a little bit more. So let's grab some of this beautiful prosciutto. And we're just going to slice this down into little ribbons after it's been shaved. Again, if you at your local deli, you want to make sure that you get from the deli, get the prosciutto straight from the butcher, because it makes all the difference in the world when you get it that way, rather than you can buy the packaged, but it just doesn't have that cured, that you don't get that rich salt from it, I think. So these are beautiful. Absolutely lovely there. And I'm going to spray the inside. There's my spray. I'm going to spray my muffin tins. That way we don't stick. Muffin tins are sprayed. I've got my ladle. We're just going to ladle right into each individual cup. You're going to fill it about, really about 3/4 of the way. That one's going to puff up an awful lot that way. But these are beautiful when they come out. It's really nice when you see all that deliciousness inside of there. Oh, terrific. Ooh, that one's going to have a lot of prosciutto in it. And cheese. There we go. So we've got there. So now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little more prosciutto. Just a little tiny bit. I'm going to tear it with my fingers. Just a little bit on the top of each one. And hope that it doesn't sink down in. And if it does, then that's just a little more great flavor, Italian flavor for us. I'm over here and I'm listening to the kale that's been on my stove for about an hour now, cooking down with a nice ham hock. I'll show you what that looks like while we pop this in the oven. So you see you got a beautiful there. Let's add a little garden herb seasoning on top. This garden herb seasoning is actually a salt-free, so you're not getting that extra salt. I happen to love the salt flavor. I think it adds a lot of richness. But we're going to pop these right in the oven there. And as those are in the oven, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull out our sweet potatoes. These are 2 giant sweet potatoes, as you can see, that I had. I've had them cooking. They've been cooking for about an hour in there. 400-degree oven. Excuse me, 400-degree oven for about an hour. I poked holes in them on each side, 3 holes on each side with a sharp knife, so that they'll cook all the way through. You can feel the skin has really loosened up on them an awful lot. We're going to let those cool down for just a second. I'm going to get myself a new cutting board over here because we've got a little bit of egg on there. I don't know if you remember from previous shows, but I do love my flexible cutting boards. I have them all over my kitchen, whether I'm at home or at the restaurant. I just absolutely love these things. They're so easy to work with. They clean up easy. You can buy a pack of 4 or 5 for anywhere between $5 and $10, depending on the quality of the ones that you get. This is a nice gripper bottom on here. You can go right on here. It has a little handle if you want to hang it up somewhere. I've got a little cabinet in my, again, 90 square foot kitchen that the Food Chick cooks in at home. But it's really, really nice. So we've got our sweet potatoes here. Sweet potatoes are right there. They're going to cool down for a minute. Over here on the stovetop, this is where I've got my kale. My kale has been cooking down. This was a huge batch of kale. I actually took a shortcut today, and I grabbed one of the pre-washed and chopped bags of kale from the grocery store. My local store has them. You can buy a big bag for $5. It's organic. It's really, really nice. But with farmers markets getting ready to open, we'll be able to get our kale fresh as often as we like and be able to support our local farmers at the same time. So I'm really looking forward to that. And speaking of farmers markets, the downtown Westminster Farmers Market in Maryland, I will be there again this year, and we open May 16th of this year. Really, really excited about that. That's going to run every Saturday through the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So what I did with this kale, though, is I have it in here. I also have a nice ham hock in here. This could cook, it's like probably about 30 minutes it's been cooking down now. I'm not going to cook it much more than that. What I'll do is I'll pull the ham hock out and I'll cook that separately and just let it all fall apart. That'll go into the oven, and that's something nice that I can add to my eggs throughout the week as additional protein with my sweet potatoes and with my kale. So we're going to let that, I'm going to turn that off, turn the heat off on that, and let that cook a little bit more. Now our sweet potatoes over here, our sweet potatoes are cooler to the touch now. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, that's nice. And let's see how easy that just cuts right open. Oh, that was perfect. Perfect, perfect for the camera, Mr. Sweet Potato. Really appreciate your cooperation today. This is a beautiful, beautiful sweet potato. And what I'm going to do with this sweet potato, I'll just show you on a small plate today. I'm going to slide this sweet potato onto a plate. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just going to mash it. I'm going to grab a small fork, just a regular dinner fork. We're going to mash it up. Oh, you are beautiful. Look at all that rich beta carotene in there, all the vitamins. Oh my goodness. So what I'm going to do with this sweet potato is I'm just going to add my favorite truffle salt. You can add your favorite salt of yours. Doesn't have to be the truffle salt. I just really like the earthiness of the truffle salt. I'm also going to add some lemon pepper to this. And again, just mix it right in there. And then what happens with these two sweet potatoes, I'll do the same thing to the next one. What happens with these sweet potatoes is they're just going to go into my handy dandy Tupperware. And I'm going to have those for the entire week. I'll be able to heat them up either in in the toaster oven because I don't have a microwave. So I'll just put them on a piece of foil with some with the kale, and when that's ready, that'll heat up. While those are heating up, I'm going to fry my eggs, which I'm going to show you right now. We're going to put this all together so you see what a gorgeous, gorgeous breakfast this can be for you. So let's go ahead and spray our pan. Spray it liberally with your cooking spray. One spray that I've been using often lately, just take my olive oil, and in a mister, I just bought a 99-cent water mister from the dollar store, and I just spray with that. It's at the restaurant. I left it there accidentally when I left there yesterday. I wanted to have that here, but I don't. But again, so I'm just putting a little seasoning on here. I'm going to grab 2 eggs wherever I put my eggs. I'm going to fry up my eggs real quick. Hear a little bit of that sizzle. Oh, I'm so happy that so far I have not broken my eggs because I am famous for breaking my eggs. Okay, so while my eggs are frying on the one side, I'm going to go ahead and load up my plate with some sweet potatoes. I'm going to put my eggs right on top of the sweet potatoes because I like the way it breaks down into it. And did you know that this whole sweet potato, this large sweet potato that I had here, was only about 150 calories. So we're only using about a quarter of that. So this is about 35 to 45 calories right here on this plate. I've got my kale over here. My eggs, again, wish me luck on not breaking. Awesome. And again, I've already seasoned one side of the eggs because on the plate, so they're on the pan. Now we'll season the other side. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off on that because that will continue cooking there. And we're going to grab some kale. A little bit of kale. I have some bacon that I cooked off earlier in the crumble. I just did it right in the same pan that I'm doing the eggs in. I cut into small pieces, crumbled it up, and cooked it that way. I'm going to put that right on top of my kale. Look at that. So you're getting your bacon fix as well. And let's bring our eggs over here. We're going to slide our eggs right on top of our sweet potatoes. They're nice, beautiful, over easy. I'm going to grab a fork, and I think I'm going to dig right in. Oh my goodness me, folks. Look at this. Holy bejesus, Batman. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous breakfast. You've got, I probably should have only filled them about 3/4 of the way, but this is what happens when you fill them all the way. You've got that overflow. Look at that beautiful, nice golden color. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Let me grab some tongs here. Oh, I'm just going to, actually, maybe not the tong, maybe a spoon. I'll get this lightly pulled out of here. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. That is, doesn't that just look absolutely, absolutely delicious? My camera crew here cannot wait until we take a break after this so they can have a little breakfast. Oh my gosh. And we're going to take a little, I have some beautiful fresh basil. I actually got my garden going already a little bit. We're going to talk about that in future episodes. I'm going to take some fresh basil. I'm going to chiffonade that down right on top of there. Oh my gosh, just mix it right in. Oh, that looks beautiful. And this, you can again take some sweet potatoes and some kale and mix that together. You've got great carbs. You've got vegetables going. You've got some, you've got your veggies going. You've got good carbs going. You've got protein. The great thing about this breakfast, you take these, you put them into little individual containers or into one big container. You pop them out in the morning, pop them in the microwave or the toaster oven to heat them up, and you've got a wonderful breakfast to have on the go. And I just can't let this sit on the edge by itself. Oh my gosh. And the difference with a farm fresh egg and a store-bought egg, unbelievable. Get out to your local farmer's market. Pay the extra for the fresh eggs. They do cost a little bit more. I'm not going to lie to you. $1 or $2 more per dozen, but the taste factor is unbelievable. So there we go. We've got our beautiful frittata with the prosciutto and with the Parmesan cheese. You can use any filling in there. If you want to use plain bacon in there and cheddar cheese. Again, you saw how easy this was for me to put together. I whipped it up in 5 minutes. It went into the oven. It came out about 12 minutes later. And there you go. I've got breakfast for the week. You can feed your entire family. Get a 24 cupcake holder and cook them in there. Pull them out, and there's your breakfast. No excuses. And then this is my absolute favorite breakfast. Look at that egg. Oh, it just oozes out. I've got my bacon. I've got my kale. I've got my sweet potato. All in one bite. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Again, my name is Brooke Haggerty. I'm the Food Chick. Thank you for joining me today on For the Love of Breakfast, and we'll see you soon.